As instructional designers, many of us use AI tools to enhance efficiency. But in a world of deepfakes and hallucinated citations, we must ask, are we doing all we can to ensure we are presenting accurate information? Hi, I'm Leslie Langdon, and welcome to Truth in Design, ensuring accuracy and integrity in AI-generated content. Today, I'll explore how instructional designers can use artificial intelligence responsibly through both an ethical and a biblical lens. My path to instructional design has been a long and windy one. After careers in restaurant management, real estate, and business consulting, I realized that I had not yet found my calling. Through reflection, prayer, and 1 Thessalonians 5:11, which says, "Therefore encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing," I saw that across every career, the moments that mattered the most were when I helped others grow. That passion brought me to education and ultimately to instructional design. My faith and my mission are simple: to encourage, guide, and support others on their path to success. This image looks real, but the math doesn't make sense. It's just gibberish. We see the same thing in these numbers on the clock. That's the danger of AI in instructional design. Things can look accurate and still mislead. As Moore et al. Remind us, ethical design requires interrogation, asking, is this true? Can I stand behind it? Have I verified the information? We are going to briefly discuss two different ways this incorrect information is generated. Sometimes it is simply ignorance as to the abilities of the tool being used. Other times it is malicious. Bollock and De Silva remind us that artificial intelligence is often trained off of information scraped from the internet. It is not always able to determine what is accurate and what is not. This leads to AI generating false information. These are referred to as hallucinations. Wellborn from Duke University blogged back in 2023 about fake citations being generated by ChatGPT. As recently as May of 2025, the New York Times and others reported about an official White House report that was littered with incorrect and non-existent citations. I don't know that there was ever an official admission that the report was written with the assistance of AI, but it seems likely. Generative AI is a bit of a people pleaser. It wants to give you what you ask for. It is very possible that someone asked for sources to back up what they believe to be true, and AI did its best. AI models are improving in this area, but there is still a ways to go. As instructional designers, we also must be mindful of the increasing presence and the quality of deepfakes. May of 2025 was also the month that Bloomberg and others reported on this fake photo of an explosion outside the Pentagon that shook up the stock market when it first went viral on the internet without any verification. We aren't going to spend any more time on malicious AI-generated content. I don't believe that any of you here are unsure as to whether that is right or wrong. I actually only bring it up to remind you that some content you discover while preparing an instructional object could have been intentionally generated to be false. Scripture reminds us that teaching, including the instructional design, isn't just a job, it is a responsibility. Titus 2:7 tells us to teach with integrity. James 3:1 goes a little bit further and cautions those who choose to enter education. James reminds us that those who teach will be judged more strictly. Whether we are in a classroom or teaching online or designing instructional materials for various audiences and platforms, our work must be done with integrity. The first step is proper citation of AI-generated content. I use Sora for some of the visualizations in this presentation. Sora is OpenAI's image generator built into the ChatGPT platform. When we use these tools, we must do our due diligence to ensure that we are not violating anyone's copyright protections. Even if it isn't required, Citing the original creator is the ethical step to take. I attempted to include a publicly shared image from the Sora gallery. I wanted to make sure I could properly display the image as it was intended. However, I was not able to download the original. I'm just learning how to use Sora myself, so there is a bit of trial and error. The Sora tool has a remix feature that enables you to make changes to a publicly shared image, and then it becomes yours. This is that image. I added the text at the bottom. The original image was created by Bad Newsman. As I said, I added the text at the bottom, but I also could have captioned it with Luke 12:48, which says, "From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked." Either way, it's a valuable reminder of our responsibility as educators. AI is a powerful tool. It can generate materials, it can accelerate our process, and enhance our learning objects. But it doesn't think, at least not the way we do, at least not yet. It doesn't always know what is true. It is our job, our ethical responsibility, to make sure we are always presenting accurate, truthful content. So use AI to brainstorm. It can be a wonderful collaborator if we don't have somebody else to bounce ideas around with. Do not let it write content for you. I start every discussion with AI clearly stating that I do not want it to write for me. I just want it to help organize my own thoughts. If it writes for you, you will spend as much time verifying that information as you would have taken to write it yourself. It's just not worth the time. Be specific in your prompts. Many people will use AI to proofread, but if you don't lay out specific criteria for what you want, it will rewrite your content. Try telling it to check for spelling and grammar, but specifically state that you do not want it to change any content. Use it to check to make sure learning objectives are met. This is one of my favorite uses of AI. I feed it my writing or my lessons, and I ask it to summarize it or pull out the main points. That can help me to determine if I have met my objectives. I did that with this content, and this is what I received back. I'm particularly fond of the final message. It says, "Instructional designers must uphold truth and integrity using AI as a collaborative tool rather than a crutch. As educators entrusted with influence, they bear great responsibility to present accurate, honest content." If that is the message you all received, then I am happy with that. As instructional designers and educators, we are called to seek truth. I invite you to review the sources I've included to verify the information shared here. Let this be the beginning of thoughtful reflection. This is not the end of the conversation. Thank you for joining us. This has been Truth in Design, ensuring accuracy and integrity in AI-generated content.